My landlord tried to sleep with my brother, but accidentally made us millionaires. Living in that apartment with my brother should have been simple. We wanted a peaceful life, but the second we met our landlord, everything felt off. She was obsessed with him, and I mean obsessed in the way that makes you check your locks twice at night. She thought I was his girlfriend, but the second I told her we were siblings, she completely changed. Whenever he'd try to handle things professionally, asking when he could pay rent, she'd lean in close and tell him he didn't need to pay that way, that there were other arrangements they could make. My brother always refused politely but firmly, yet each rejection seemed to make her bolder, more determined, as if his lack of interest was just another challenge to overcome. This wasn't just an awkward situation anymore. The first time I came home and heard movement in my brother's room, so he must have been home early from work. But when I knocked to let him know I was home, I heard something crash to the floor, the distinct sound of someone panicking. I said, "Hey, you all right in there?" but got no response. I thought he might be hurt or something, so pushed it open. However, my brother wasn't in there. I saw our landlord standing there, her hands still on my brother's dresser drawer, frozen after I caught her. "What the hell are you doing?" I said, but she didn't know what to say. He was literally going through his clothes, taking some for herself. Then we heard the front odor open. It was him. And when he came over and saw what was happening, he knew exactly what it was. That's when he finally snapped, his voice shaking with rage as he told her to get the out before I call the cops. "I'm never sleeping with you, never." She left that day with her face flushed, humiliated and angry, slamming our front door so hard the walls shook, and we both knew this wasn't over. The very next week, immediately after my brother had paid his rent in full, we had the receipt, the cleared check, everything. She served him with an eviction notice, giving him just days to vacate the apartment, claiming he was a destructive tenant who had violated his lease. We couldn't believe what we were reading. We now had no place to live, all because of this psycho lady who was obsessed with my brother. But that wasn't it, because that same night, we got another letter in the mail. It was a lawsuit. Not only was she evicting us, but she was now suing us for $1 million for being reckless tenants who wouldn't meet her needs. She was literally trying to ruin our lives, and when the court date came, she started telling the judge my brother was a reckless tenant who had destroyed her property. She claimed he had punched dozens of holes in the walls and completely trashed the living room. "Do you have proof of this?" the judge asked, and she already knew what her next move was. "Yup, right here." And she eagerly pulled out her phone to show a video she'd taken. We all watched as she played footage of herself walking through our apartment, specifically through my brother's bedroom, the camera panning slowly across walls and furniture. But the room was immaculate, not a single hole in sight, not even a piece of trash on the floor, just his neatly made bed and organized desk. The judge studied the video carefully. Then he asked, "Where are the holes you mentioned?" But she paused for a second. "Oh, they're just behind the posters. You can't see them because he covered them up with them." At one point in the video, you could even catch her reflection in my brother's mirror, wearing an extremely revealing outfit. "Did you take this video while he was still living there?" She nodded confidently. "Yes, Your Honor. I just didn't want to invade his privacy by moving his posters." The judge's frown deepened as he leaned forward and asked the question that sealed her fate. "Well, since you were so concerned about not invading his privacy, I'm assuming you got his permission to enter the apartment when you took this video?" The courtroom went completely silent as her mouth opened to say something, but realized exactly what she did. The judge didn't need to wait. He turned to us and actually awarded us the full amount on the spot.